Good morning. Welcome in to Southern Sports Now. New show here on this Thursday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I'm Chase Robinson. We are so glad you're hanging out with us, talking sports this morning. And boy, do we have a lot to get to today. We're going to be talking with Bart Hyche coming up around 10:20. Bart talking all things hoops. As high school basketball, we'll get his thoughts on some of the summer games and more. So be listening for Bart Hyche joining us coming up at 10:20. Former Mississippi State Bulldog, played basketball there for the Bulldogs, and so we'll talk with Bart Hyche coming up around 10:20. We'll talk college baseball, college football, Braves, and more as we roll through this Thursday. But let's have our countdown to college football. Yes, we are getting closer and closer, 65 days away from the college football season. That is from week 0. 10 games on week 0, August the 26th, including Jacksonville State and UTEP. They'll be up on week 0, so 65 days away from kicking off college football. On the high school side of things, we're 63 days away. They start a couple of days earlier. On Thursday, August the 24th, is the first night of high school football. Excited for a new season, new coaches in the area, and so excited to see what this 2023 high school football season has to offer. But we are 63 days away from high school football, so we're getting closer, just a couple of months out. Let's see, today's the 22nd, so really we're just 2 months out of high school football and college football, so it will be here before we know it. We got a lot to do to get you ready for that. Coming up tomorrow, we do this every Friday, is the Southern Sports Now mailbag. And so go ahead and get your questions in today, so we'll have those for the show tomorrow. You could submit those eansports23@gmail.com. That's the email address you can send it to. You can send us a message on the East Alabama Now Facebook page, or a message there on Twitter at EAN_sports. Or if you're watching right now and you have a question, go ahead and drop it down in the comments, and we'll get that in the bag and ready to be answered tomorrow. We'll be answering all your sports questions coming up in the Southern Sports Now mailbag. We do that every Friday here on the show. Well, let's start off with our headlines today, see what's going on across the world of sports. Lots going on in college baseball. Florida, how about the Gators moving on to the College World Series final? They walked away with a 3-2 win, another close one for Florida, over TCU yesterday. And so Florida now headed to the College World Series final, 4th time in history, first time since 2017. The Gators won it that year, but Florida now sitting in the College World Series final, and they await the winner of LSU and Wake Forest. LSU beat Wake Forest last night, so that brings up the if game tonight. And boy, was it a good one last night. LSU looked really good against the Demon Deacons. Wake Forest, of course, very hot offensively. LSU able to hold them last night. 5-2 was the final. So we got one more game before we see who will meet up with Florida in the finals. Will it be another SEC team in LSU, or will Wake Forest, the top seed in the tournament, head to the championship? We'll have to find out tonight. It should be a fantastic baseball game up in Omaha between LSU and Wake Forest. The rain up in Philadelphia got to the Braves and Phillies last night. They postponed it due to weather, and it was strange because it was 30 minutes away from first pitch. Nothing had been said. You get about 10 minutes away from first pitch to say, all right, let's go into a rain delay. 2 hours later, they decided to postpone the game. Usually, you don't have to sit there. These poor fans sitting out in the rain for 2 hours before they even said anything, and not a pitch was thrown, which I know a lot has to go into that, but just strange circumstances last night. They are going to actually move that game to September 11th. It will be a doubleheader when the Braves go back up to Philadelphia. They will play today at noon, and so the Braves and Phillies will wrap up their series this afternoon, but last night's game 2 postponed to September 11th. Also last night, the Vipers game with the Smoke was canceled due to weather. And so the Vipers are going to head back home, and they actually have a series with the Smoke coming up this weekend in Oxford. But last night was canceled due to weather out in Austin, Texas. So there was bad weather in Philadelphia, in Austin, Texas, some rain here. Man, it was everywhere, I guess. And some college football news for you. College football playoff. Executive Director Bill Hancock is set to retire in 2025. He has done so much for the game of college football and the expansion and all that we know about the playoff. Bill Hancock did it, and so he has had a great career in athletics administration and with the college football playoff, with the BCS as well. But his contract is up in 2025, and he will be retiring. So I'm sure we will hear very soon of a replacement. But hey, hats off to Bill Hancock and all he's done for college football. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back, talk some college baseball. Stick around as we roll on here on this Thursday of Southern Sports Now.
Excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now. Chase Robinson here with you as we roll through this Thursday together, talking sports. And I want to talk some college baseball now because we have reached obviously close to the end of the college baseball season, College World Series. We have one team set in the finals. We'll find out tonight who will meet the Florida Gators. But I want to talk some Florida baseball as they've looked good this year. They looked really good in SEC play. Obviously won the SEC tournament and went in really high into Omaha after what they did in the regionals, the supers. And you knew going into Omaha that they were going to be one of the teams that could go all the way. They've had some really close games, though. Every game they've played in Omaha has been a one-run game. They started off with a one-run win over Virginia. Then they met up with TCU, one-run game. Last night, a one-run game. But the Gators are getting it done. They may be close, but they're winning these games, and they know how to win. They've been in the situation before during this season, but they're able to finish strong. And I think that's what, when you look at championship teams, it doesn't really matter how you do it and how you get there. It matters if you're able to finish. And that's what stands out to me about this Florida Gator baseball team is that they're able to finish games. And you see on the video right here, I mean, they did give up some big hits to TCU, but they also made some really good plays, and they hit the ball well themselves to able to get in the position to win 3-2. And in crucial moments and big situations, they're able to make really big plays like this one right here. Backtracking, caught it on the warning track, and the Florida Gators go into the national championship. So you think of the guy who's kind of been the face of this Gators program in Jack Caglianone. And, I mean, he's been fun to watch, whether it's hitting the ball and all the home runs he's hit, whether it's pitching, whether it's first base. I mean, the guy is he's a two-way player, and he's good. He's really good. And last night didn't have his best pitching performance to start the game, but the bullpen was able to come in and finish it off. But Florida in the national championship for the fourth time ever. It's been since 2017 since they've been there, and they won it that year. And so I think whoever ends up playing with Florida, again, we may see some close games because that's what they like to do. But I think Florida is capable of winning the championship for sure. They are top to bottom, really good in the lineup. We've got some really good arms. We've talked, with Joe Cox and other baseball guys who study this, who watch these teams, and they've said all along Florida could be the team from the SEC to win it all. Obviously, LSU might be right up there with them, but Florida has been consistent, and that's been key, I think, for the Gators this year is the consistency that they've shown as well. But really fun last night watching the Florida Gators beat TCU and to go to the national championship. Great representation of the SEC there with the Florida Gators, and we just so happen to have another SEC team trying to get there, and that is the LSU Tigers, as they had Wake Forest last night. So if Wake Forest had won this game, the Demon Deacons would have been in the national championship with Florida, but LSU said, whoa, hold on a second, we're not letting up, and LSU played a really, really good game last night. They hit the ball well. They pitched well. I mean, you look at Wake Forest, and they have been kind of the offensive powerhouse of college baseball all season long, and they started off really good. I mean, there you see bases loaded hit, scored a couple of runs, but LSU did a great job of adjusting, settling down, and putting the ball in play, and it didn't take long for the LSU Tigers to open up offensively, start scoring some runs. But what stood out to me about LSU is their pitching, shutting the Demon Deacons down to only 2 runs for a team that scored 22 on a good Alabama team, hit 9 home runs. They've been hitting the ball so well. They've been scoring a lot of runs, and LSU able to hold them to 2 runs really stands out to me about this LSU team, one of the best offenses in the country. You know, this is the LSU team I think we saw most of the SEC season, besides those 2 or 3 final series in SEC play. When I think when LSU lost to Auburn, it was kind of a turning point for Auburn, and they got better. For LSU, it kind of took them down a little bit. But this is the LSU team that we saw as the number 1 team in the country, the number 2 team in the country for so long, winning games like they did last night. And they are, 9 innings away from going to the national championship. And so we thought kind of back in April, mid-April, late April, even in early May, that LSU was hands down, probably going to win the national championship. But again, they got some injuries. Bullpen wasn't performing well, but I think now they're kind of back to full force, and I'm excited to see what the LSU Tigers can do. But this should be a really fun game tonight because of several things. One, these are 2 really good baseball teams that hit the ball really well, that pitch really well. But 2, the coaches are going to have to make some decisions. Wake Forest has not been in this situation for a trip to go to the national championship in like 50 years. And LSU has had success in the past, but Jay Johnson's just in his 2nd year as a head coach. So both of these head coaches have not been in this situation before of trying to kind of strategize of, yes, we want to win this game, but we also, if we win, we've got more baseball to play starting tomorrow. And so I think for these coaches to kind of figure out how they want to approach this game, how you can still, save arms for the weekend, for the national championship. What kind of depth do you have? There's a lot of decisions that have to be made and a lot of strategy that has to go into this for both of these head coaches. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye on is how these coaches go about this. Again, two coaches who have not been in this situation for a trip to go to the national championship. So that's going to be fun to watch. LSU head coach Jay Johnson, I have a ton of respect from him coming from Murray State to LSU, and has done an incredible job. But I'm excited to see this game tonight. LSU Wake Forest could be a really, really good baseball game for a trip to the national championship. Could we see an all SEC national championship? That'd be fun, as it always is. But somebody is going to get Florida, whether it's Wake Forest or LSU, coming up this weekend. Mentioned a few moments ago, Bill Hancock is set to retire as the executive director of the college football playoff. He's forever changed college football. He was the final director of the BCS. He was the only director of the 4-team playoff, which we have now. And he will be the first director of the 12-team playoff. He gets a lot of flack a lot for maybe decisions he's made or people wanted to see something different. But what Bill Hancock has done for college football and the leadership that he has shown through this and the expansion and making sure everything was in place, not making rush decisions, but making sure that it was best for the game of college football. That's what Bill Hancock wanted to do. I've had a chance to meet him. He's a very kind guy. Just a really nice guy who loves college football and wants to see the best for the game. And so congratulations to Bill Hancock on all he's accomplished. But 2025, he'll be able to retire. And this is a pressure-packed job every year for him, especially when it's big decision time in early December. For the College Football Playoff Committee. He leads them and has done a tremendous job there with the College Football Playoff. He will be missed, and I know the Playoff Committee will select a fantastic new leader as executive director, but Bill Hancock will be retiring there as the executive director of the College Football Playoff when his contract expires in 2025. We'll jump to a break here. We'll talk some hoops coming up. Bart Hyche will join us on the other side. Stick around. We got more to come.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news. New faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room. And the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now on this Thursday. Chase Robinson here. Glad you are hanging out with us here on this Thursday morning. And we're going to talk some hoops now with our friend Bart Hyche, HycheHoops.com. Bart, always great to talk with you. How are you today? You got us, Bart?
Yeah, can you hear me, man?
Yes. How are you?
Sorry, man, I'm good. I had some technical difficulties. I'm actually trying to find where I'm going, so I'm about to pull over right here, and I'll be good to go.
All right. Well, Bart, appreciate you coming on with us. And it's summer, but basketball, man, it's in full force. High school teams, play dates. It's a very important time of the season, right? I mean, you gotta get these games in the summer, see your teams play, but always fun to see some summer basketball.
Man, it's been wonderful, Chase. I haven't been able to see enough, to be honest with you. I went over to Hoover. That's kind of where I started a little bit with the play dates, and it was just so high level, a lot of big time players, and just so many coaches there, head coaches from not Alabama. It was cool to see that. And then rode up to Huntsville this week and caught some action at Huntsville High School, and just some good teams. Some names have moved, and good to see those teams as well. So yeah, man, it's just been great. So there's just so much to talk about. I don't even know what to point out.
Well, let's start with you. You have a great pulse on high school basketball all across the state of Alabama. But who are some teams that you've seen, that you know about, that folks should keep an eye on, not only this summer, but as we get ready for the season for 2023?
Well, I think I saw a really high-level game to where a lot of people might not know this, but Huntsville High has been really good. They hadn't made it to Birmingham yet. Coach Swears and his group hasn't, but they've been knocking on the door, and they just have shot it well in those regional finals. They're legit. They're long. They're athletic. They switch defenses, and it keeps you off guard. They actually beat Hoover at the Finley Center. by one. Just Caleb Harrison has been really good for them this year. Rivers, Gossett, Simon Walker. I mean, they've got pieces. Even Stapler at the point guard. They're all solid. So I like the Huntsville team a lot. That was a big belief thing for them. I think they've always believed. Caleb Harrison said that to me after the game, that they always have, and they knew. But finally, to get over that hump has to be a big hurdle for them. But Hoover still, to me, is the team to beat. I think the talent level of Dwayne Brown and Salim London is high level, and you mix in Fairley. They did lose Casita, which is going to be a big deal going on to Sanford. I think that's a great sign for Bucky. But he does a lot of things well, and they'll miss that. They'll especially miss his length defensively on the perimeter position. But Hoover is to me still that team. One team to keep an eye on in 7A is Florence, Chase. We haven't heard much out of Florence in quite a while, maybe since Charlie Champagne was playing there. But Dylan Burleson from Haleville has moved to Florence, and Bryant James has followed him there. And they're fun. They're fast. I think they went 4-5-1 in this stretch. And so, seeing if Dylan Burleson can move on to 7A is another interesting storyline up in North Alabama.
Yeah, for sure. And, you've been a player. You talk with coaches. What are they looking for in these summer games? I mean, obviously, it gives you a chance to get out to see your team, to play against somebody else. But what are coaches, what are athletes looking for when they play these summer play dates?
Man, I hope I can tee my ball up today just as good as you teed me up for this one, because that was really good, and we didn't talk about it. Body language, man. It's body language. They want to see kids play in the next play. Yeah, you want to see shooting the basketball is still the thing. I think that jumps you a level if you can really shoot it, if you're 6 foot and can halfway guard people. But whatever level that is. But it's body language, man. And nowadays there's so much opportunity. And high school kids now, it's this portal NIL thing is going to keep some guys in school, and high school kids are going to get passed over. So you may be a really good player, but at the same time, if you get upset every time one of your teammates drops a pass, or you try to make the flashy play when you shouldn't, those type things, that to me is what coaches are looking for. And you can tell by coaches' body language when they're paying attention and when they're not. But being a good teammate, constantly attacking the glass, constantly after the 50-50 balls, communication, I think, is a huge deal. But I also think Alabama basketball is growing to where you're seeing a lot more of that. There's some good high school coaches out now, which creates cerebral players that are ready to move on to the next level.
We're talking hoops with Bart Hyche, and you brought up a good point with the transfer portal and all. I know you were an SEC player back before the transfer portal, and but now as you've seen basketball change, you've seen it grow. You see guys coming out of the state of Alabama as far as being recruited, going to play at the next level. And you mentioned some guys, get passed over. We talk about football and the transfer portal and guys getting passed over recruiting. But how difficult is it in basketball now to get that scholarship with less scholarships, less guys on the team as a high school player when coaches can just go get somebody out of the transfer portal?
Experience plays here. Big. And if this would have been the time that I would have been coming out in high school and the portal would have been there, I probably wouldn't have signed an SEC scholarship. Why are you going to take a chance on me at my size, unproven from a physical standpoint, with some question marks, when you can go out and get a guy that played in a good league, played 60, 70, 80 games, had a lot of experience, played against some big-time competition, has been through the rigors of waking up every morning, and I've gotten big back again on talking to kids about mixing in those 15-minute naps. I saw Sam Wright from Spain Park at the Hoover thing, a quick story, and I told him, I said, "How is it, man?" And he said, "Man, it's tough." And he said, "It's a lot tougher than I anticipated." And I said, "Get to know them 15-minute naps, brother, because that's a really, really, really big deal." And it is for high school kids to transition out of their home where they've lived, no matter where that is, into something to where they're more on their own. And every situation is different. But, it's what you're going to see is you're going to see kids go to a school and then come back home. Like maybe go off somewhere, come back home to a Troy or a Sanford or somewhere like that. And you're going to always have these higher level kids that might not fit in some. you'll also have, excuse me about that, but you'll also have what's a really big deal. The kids, I would say, like, I think this is my personal opinion. No offense to the school at all. People will get what I'm saying. I think John Broome is a one and done guy at South Alabama to move up to the next level, if that makes sense. I think he was under recruited at the end of his career, and then now he'll go to South Alabama. He goes and averages 10, 11, 12 points a game. He's going to start getting those looks. And so the dynamic of how coaches handle it, the revolving door of, hey, man, if he's going to go somewhere else, they work together, I think, a little bit to find some right places for some kids. And, it's not always going to be right, but I do think you're starting to see some of that happen. And I think that will create opportunities, but it may just not be right out of high school where these kids want sometimes.
Yeah, and just as you watch high school basketball here across the state of Alabama, and you see college basketball here in the state of Alabama, and the high level of Alabama-Auburn, but not just those guys, but UAB and Samford winning games as well. How do you think just the success of college basketball in Alabama is bleeding down into high school basketball in the state of Alabama?
Man, I sound like a broken record when I say this, but it's an exact pattern of what happened in the state of Mississippi after we went to the Final Four in '96. A lot of people don't remember that Ole Miss won the West when we had the old East and West back then. Ole Miss won it the next 2 years with Michael White, Keith Carter, those guys. And so that happened over there. Well, in the midst of that happening, you had this blossom of young talent: Travis Outlaw, Jonathan Bender, Monta Ellis, Al Jefferson. Those guys were from Mississippi and went straight to the league right in that midst. Well, that's the kind of talent level you're seeing in Alabama come out with kids like a Caleb Holt. We didn't even mention him earlier, and he is totally the truth and totally as advertised. And like Alabama gets a signing yesterday that reclassifies. I think you're going to see some of that when kids are ready to go across the state. But there's not going to be many like that. Those kids are unicorns in that sense, to where that's a special thing. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with him. I haven't heard anything like that. You're going to start seeing kids now that they can make money and go NIL. Why are you going to go ahead and stay in high school if you can go ahead and get your credits done, move on toward the education that whatever that you need to get in that university, and go about it that route? But the level of basketball team-wise, watch the level of high school basketball that high schools play with. It's important now. It means more. And when basketball gets better, more people get involved in it. And then I've got so many guys that played football that I train their kids that they don't know a lot about basketball, but now they're into it because it's grown, and that's what their kid wants to watch at home. So I think that's the effect. Auburn's Final Four did the same thing, and now Alabama's on the come up, and you're starting to see all this talent come through. Teams are good. I mean, the 25 class in Alabama plus Caleb Holt in that next class is arguably, to me, the best class I've ever seen in the state.
Wow, that's saying a lot there. We're talking hoops with Bart Hyche here. And Bart, a question for you, for a guy who, SEC player from Alabama, Brandon Miller, NBA draft tonight. You've been keeping up with Miller. How do you think he's going to do in the draft tonight?
I think it's trending. Yeah, everything's leaning toward him. I was always saying he was going to go second, man. I think he's just a talent. I think he's a shot maker. I think in the league he'll develop a post-up game and develop a face-up game, even a little bit closer to the basket over the next few years. And it's going to be a good fit, And I think he'll go to Charlotte, right? And doesn't that mean he and Bryce Young will both be in Charlotte? Is that right? I think. I'm pretty sure Charlotte's got the second pick. And so I think Brandon Miller's going to be a great pro. I really do. There's some stuff in the background that's just got to kind of get taken care of and whatever, see what happens with that. But all indications are that he's free and clear and he's able to go about and go be a pro. And I think he's going to be a really, really, really good one. He's got natural talent and he's going to get bigger and grow. His body's not done filling out.
Before we let you go, Bart, HycheHoops.com. Tell us a little about what you got going on there.
Well, man, I'm kind of piecing it together. not quickly, really. I do a verse of the day occasionally, but I'm started putting that out. Basically, all my social media is hyche.com. And that's kind of where I'm going with it. It's all over Twitter. Just the things I go see, the things that I go do, and mistakes I've made in my life, and like how I've dealt with them, and just kind of telling my story. And the network has grown over the years, especially now. And it's just, we got to reach these kids whether it's on the court or off, and that's life is fun, man, and I try to take advantage of it and keep it in the lines at most times, but at the same time it's all a kingdom focus of just being good to people, and trying to spread what's been taught to me by so many. So that's kind of what HycheHoops.com is all about. I do the games where I stream some high school games. There's probably going to be a 20-game schedule coming. We're in negotiations working on that. And I also do like the Starkville Derby. I did a weenie dog race. So there's going to be more stuff coming. I think I'm going to broadcast Mule Day in Winfield. So just a variety of entrepreneurship, and hopefully in the next coming weeks, I'm still in negotiations with some things, but I think we got some Hyche Hoops gear coming, and I'm excited about that. So I appreciate you bringing it up, man. It's a snail process, but I don't do anything quickly because I don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah, I like it. Bart Hyche. You can follow him on Twitter at bhyche22. Bart, I know you got 11 o'clock tea time. We'll let you go. Appreciate you coming on with us today.
All right, man. Thanks. Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Bart Hyche covering high school basketball, covering college basketball, former Mississippi State Bulldog, joining us here on Southern Sports Now. We'll jump to a break, come back, talk a little Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame, talk some Vipers, Braves, and more. Stay with us.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Ted's Floors and Beyond. They bring you this segment of Southern Sports Now. Ted's Floors and Beyond, of course, the headquarters, all things flooring. But you see the and beyond part, they have partnered with Welber Cabinet to offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That is huge, and you can get cabinets, countertops, backsplashes, tile showers, flooring, all of that included in that kitchen or bath makeover. Of course, they have all your flooring needs as well: hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. They get a lifetime warranty on flooring installation as well. They're locally owned and operated, so go by and see them today. Highway 431 in Anniston, and online, shopteds.com is where you can find Ted's Floors and Beyond, but we appreciate them for bringing you this segment of Southern Sports Now. As we continue here on this Thursday, we've been spotlighting the inductees into the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. And we're going to continue that now with Barney Wilson. Barney Wilson was a football and baseball player for the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and he was inducted into this year's class. He was a big part of Oxford and went on to play at Jacksonville State as well. And we caught up with Barney Wilson, and he talked about how special of an honor this is to be inducted.
Well, it's quite a pleasure and quite a surprise, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of great ball players that's come through this county. I've played with them, played against them, and to be recognized with your friends and fellow players is quite a treat.
So that has to be special to get that call, especially, like him. He played with a lot of good players against them and with them, and so that has to be special. But he, of course, played football, he played basketball, and played baseball for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And in 1973 was part of Jacksonville State's baseball team, and went to the College World Series for Jacksonville State back in the NCAA Division II for the first time in program's history. He was part of Rudy Abbott's first recruiting class as the head coach at Jacksonville State. Rudy Abbott, legend there at JSU, and Wilson was part of that 1969 recruiting class. He was All Gulf South Conference at JSU as a freshman and as a senior, and so he came in relief in the game against New Orleans, which was a qualifying game for the NCAA tournament, and he came in and got the win in that game. But standout baseball player at Oxford and then at Jacksonville State as well. And he talks about some of the memories he has of his playing days.
I got a chance to look at a lot of scrapbook pictures, and when I was gathering up the information, I had a chance to look at some of the old folks. Didn't realize I didn't weigh any more than I did when I was playing. I was quite thin, but just that and looking at the teammates that I played with, getting to see them again, it was quite good. Plus, having had kids and grandkids now, you hope to be able to watch them play like you played, and hopefully we'll get to that one of these days.
So Barney Wilson there with some of his former Oxford Yellow Jacket teammates there as he was inducted into the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame on Saturday night. So congratulations to Barney Wilson, a guy a lot of folks in Oxford remember and remember the success he had not only with the Yellow Jackets, but like we said, as a baseball star there at Jacksonville State for the Gamecocks under Coach Rudy Abbott. And so a long history here in Calhoun County for Barney Wilson. Congratulations to him on his induction. Moving over to the softball field, we got a big series coming up this weekend at Choccolocco Park because it'll be the first time you can see the Vipers in action there at Choccolocco Park as they'll take on the Texas Smoke. That series begins tomorrow night, 7 p.m. They will get that going there at Choccolocco Park on the Signature Field. Now, the Vipers come in 0-4 on the season. Last night's game was canceled because of weather there in Austin, Texas, but they will be at Choccolocco Park tomorrow night, and I'm excited about this. This is big for Calhoun County. This is big for Oxford to have a professional sports team playing here. We've seen other teams come in, but not at the level of what we'll see tomorrow night at Choccolocco Park. This was big for Oxford to get this team, to get the caliber of athletes that are on this Vipers team. These are the softball players you'll probably be seeing on Team USA representing the country in the Olympics. These are top-tier athletes that are part of the Women's Professional Fast Pitch League. And for Oxford to have a team for a beautiful park like Choccolocco Park to be the home of the Vipers is huge. And so I'm excited. Hopefully a great crowd will be on hand tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday night, all weekend long there at Choccolocco Park, 7 p.m. for some Vipers softball. But come cheer on the Vipers and And it's going to be really good softball. If you're a softball fan and you keep up with college softball, you're going to know a lot of names on both of these teams, not just the Vipers, but the Smoke as well, as they've got a load of talent as well. They've got some of the Oklahoma players and some of the players from Texas as well. So this is an exciting time for the Vipers, and can't wait to see the Smash It Sports Vipers home opening series beginning tomorrow night. They'll actually be at home for the next few weekends. So there's your weekend plans. Go watch some Viper softball out there at Choccolocco Park. Let's jump to a break here. We got Braves to discuss as they'll wrap up the series with the Phillies coming up today. We'll talk about that next.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news. New faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Southern Sports Now. We continue here on this Thursday. Want to start off by reminding you about the Southern Sports Now mailbag. We'll get to that coming up tomorrow on the show as we do every Friday. So go ahead and get those questions in. You can email us a question, eansports23@gmail.com. Shoot us a message on Facebook, East Alabama Now. They're on Facebook, and on Twitter at EAN_sports. And so those are the places you can send us your sports questions for the Southern Sports Now mailbag. Or if you're watching live right now and you want to go ahead and drop your question down in the comments, would love for you to do that as well on Facebook or YouTube. Wherever you're watching, go ahead and drop that comments, and we'll get the questions in and ready to be answered, to pull them out of the old mailbag tomorrow here on Southern Sports Now with our Friday mailbag. We got Atlanta Braves baseball today. Get some afternoon baseball. So if you're looking for something to do this afternoon, well, flip on Valley Sports and you can watch the Braves and the Phillies. That'll be a 12 noon. You can see that series wrap up before the Braves head to Cincinnati. But last night, the game, we talked about it. It was weird. They waited a long time to postpone the game. After a few hours of the fans sitting there in the rain, they decided to postpone the game up there in Philadelphia. But how does that affect the rotation? Well, the Braves are going to be juggling things around a little bit. With last night's rain out, the Braves were set to start A.J. Smith-Shawver last night, but they will actually move him to tomorrow night, and Bryce Elder is going to throw today. And so they're kind of adjusting things on the fly here, but we'll see Bryce Elder start this afternoon against the Phillies. Smith Shawver will pitch tomorrow night against the Reds in Cincinnati. Jared Schuster will go Saturday, and Charlie Morton will go Sunday. So really what they've done is just push everybody back and swap Shawver and Elder. And so, I think it's a good move. Aaron Nola is going to be on the mound today for the Phillies. He was set to throw last night. They went ahead and pushed him to today. And so Aaron Nola, like we said yesterday, is a fantastic pitcher. The Braves have struggled with him as of recent, really the whole time he's been with the Phillies. So, Phillies seem to have some success when Aaron Nola is on the mound, but the Braves kind of juggling things around with the rotation. But Bryce Elder's been a good arm for the Braves. He's been able to go deep in the game, so he'll need to do that again today, but he'll get the afternoon game. But A.J. Smith-Shawver has been a guy as well. He's had one start and won the game, so he's a guy that I think will be a good starter against the Reds tomorrow night. The Reds are playing pretty good baseball right now, and so that series will begin tomorrow night. But having to adjust things kind of on the fly for the Atlanta Braves. But like I mentioned, Smith-Shawver tomorrow in Cincinnati. You'll have Schuster Saturday, Charlie Morton Sunday, and it looks like Spencer Strider, his next start will be on Monday as they'll start the home series against the Twins. And so, but we'll have Phillies Braves coming up for you this afternoon, and that should be a good game to wrap up that series. We'll see if the Braves can get that sweep in Philadelphia as they're riding a lot of momentum. And we'll see if they can get it done. I say a sweep. Technically, with last night's rain out, I guess it wouldn't be a sweep, but they would win both of the games they played. So I guess we could consider that a sweep, even though it technically wouldn't be. But Bryce Elder, looking forward to seeing him on the mound later today as well. We got a lot of good baseball today. Braves this afternoon, LSU Wake Forest tonight, which I think will be an absolute battle. There in the College World Series. Winner moves on to take on the Florida Gators for a national championship on the line. Would love to see an all-SEC national championship because we've talked about it all the time that SEC is just kind of it's the football powerhouse. SEC basketball is getting much better. SEC baseball is tremendous. If let's say Florida wins or LSU, we would have an SEC national champion for 3 straight years. We have Mississippi State 2 years ago, Ole Miss last year, and hey, we could have an SEC national champion in baseball again this year. But the SEC has proven to be very strong in college baseball, and I'd love to see an all-SEC national championship. I don't think everybody would like to see that, but I know us here in the South would love to see that. So that LSU Wake Forest coming up tonight for a trip to the national championship. That's about all the time we have for you today here on Southern Sports Now. Appreciate our guest, Bart Hyche, for joining us, talking some basketball. Appreciate you for joining us, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Remember, drop those questions in. We're answering all your sports questions on the show tomorrow in the Southern Sports Now mailbag. So you can drop in the comments right now if you're watching, or shoot us a message on Facebook, Twitter, or email us, eansports23@gmail.com. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Friday show coming up tomorrow. We'll see you then.